Diego Comic-Con. Presented by T-Mobile, America's best unlimited network.
Hello, welcome to Screen Junkies News. I am Spencer J. Gilbert, here
I'm
with Michelle Boyd. I will say your name.
Oh, we're professionals. I can totally do this.
You are fresh out of the Game of Thrones Comic-Con Hall H panel, where what happened?
Not a lot.
Not that much.
Not a lot, guys. Sorry. We had Hodor come out and introduce the panel. He hosted. He did a wonderful job. He also guilt-tripped just about every single person there into making sure.
They didn't kill him. That was George Martin.
I mean, just they wanted to know who you would have brought back if you had the choice. And if their first answer wasn't Hodor, there was a lot of shame.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to bust out a shame bell.
Rang that shame bell.
Exactly.
Yeah, I guess there's not so much they can reveal because unlike other years, they're in the middle of the season right now.
But that's exactly why I thought they might reveal a little more. I feel like the rest of the time I've gone to panels, I understood when they said, okay, well, the season's over, and obviously we're not going to tease something that happens a year from now, but we're right in the middle of the season. Part of me was hoping, crossing my fingers, that I would walk in and they'd be like, hey, what's going on? You want to see the next episode? Cool, peace.
Oh, man.
I mean, and I just hopes completely dashed.
Were there any cute moments, any standouts?
There were, I mean, always seeing Varys with hair is fun for me,
What?
personally.
He has hair?
He has hair.
Harris?
He's got a lot of hair. That man can rock it.
All right.
I think the best moment is Alfie Allen bringing out his cute little puppy, Abby. That was fun. And just kind of like petting her the whole time.
That's cheating. He's such a scumbag that Theon, not Alfie Allen, that he had to bring out the dog to offset
Theon
that.
has a nice redemptive arc, but it's like, I
Yeah.
mean, first I love Gwendolyn Christie coming out, but then there's Theon with a puppy. Like, that's just not fair.
It's tough. Gwendolyn Christie, she sort of, I don't know what you want to say, confirm or denied the Tormund shipping that's been going on. She kind of dodged the question.
She's aware. It's impossible to not be aware.
Did she say something like deep down inside she might maybe have some feelings?
She said that at the heart of all awkwardness, there's a secret enjoyment.
Yeah.
And I think that's enough for us all to go off of. I think I'll feed on that for the rest of the season. It'll be
I'll
fine.
take it. So there was so not a lot of plot stuff, but it was cool to see everybody. However, there was a teaser trailer released for, I believe, next week's episode.
We were talking about this. It seems to be mostly the same stuff that we saw at the end of the last episode, teasing the next episode, episode 2. But in the description that Game of Thrones released, it said in the coming weeks. So we're really not sure if this is just a teaser for the entire rest of season 7 or if this is just for episode 2. If it's just for episode 2, that's a lot.
That's a lot of stuff.
There's a lot. I mean, if it is just for episode 2, oh, battle.
Yeah, it'll be
finally
big.
a battle episode. Good.
Yeah. So speaking of the battle, what did we see here that interested us? First up, being the Lannister army on the march. Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, the Lannister army on the march. We did see a scene that we saw from the just overall trailer for all of season 7, like at the very beginning before the season even started, where we saw army pouring out of this hallway that had the Lannister lions on the walls.
An unsullied army.
An unsullied army, exactly. And so that hints at a battle. It's something we thought might be Casterly Rock with the lions on the walls, but as you and I talked about, Cersei's done some redecorating of King's Landing.
That's
There's
right.
lions all over the frickin' place.
It's
So
very red.
Yeah, so it very well might be the battle at King's Landing.
Could be King's Landing. It could be Casterly Rock. It could be somewhere that they take over and then is taken back by the Unsullied. But that would be a lot again for next week.
That would be, yeah, that's a lot for next week. That's a lot for this season.
Yeah.
I think and you do see a land battle. We do see the width and breadth of the Lannister army. That was pretty cool. But I'm not sure if those are all at King's Landing or really, Cersei just left him at home.
And speaking of King's Landing, we do see a triumphantly returning Rob Thomas of Matchbox 20 on his horse.
Freshly adorned in guy liner. Yes.
Ready to do we with Santana.
He's just like waving to the crowd.
Yeah. So Euron comes back, leather pants and all, and we don't see what gift he's bringing, but we assume he succeeds in wherever he went for his mission.
The triumphant return of the emo rock band princess. So it'll be interesting to see. I don't know why the crowd likes him, honestly. Why?
Well, it depends what he's got behind him. You know,
That's true.
what's he carrying?
I mean, what's going to be the priceless gift? That's the question.
Now, we thought it would be a sand snake. That was my prediction. But we see one of them making out with Yara.
Yeah,
briefly.
Alaria.
This is like a single.
This is a single. And again, this is kind of speaking to maybe this doesn't all happen in the next episode, because it'd be interesting to see him returning with a gift, especially if it was like Alaria or a sand snake, when 5 minutes ago she was making out with Yara.
That's when they least expect it.
Obviously. I mean, that's my plan of events. I said at the beginning when we did Watching Thrones for the first episode that I'm not going to care about jetpacks this particular season. You can't. But that's a bit much.
Yeah.
That's a bit much.
That would be a lot of movement.
It would also be a lot of movement for Dany to get all the way out to Casterly Rock across the continent in a single turn.
Yeah.
Especially since we see, are you going to talk about at the very end with Melisandre at Dragonstone?
Right. Yeah. Go on.
That was the main thing. That, I think, was the biggest reveal of the entire kind of new sneak peek. We had seen Melisandre in the trailer for the season, overlooking Dragonstone, but this is where we actually get to see her in the same room as Dany.
Right. She's so wishy-washy because she worships Stannis, then she worships Jon, and now I guess she would worship Dany, right?
She spun the wheel of Azor Ahai, and it came up Dany this week.
Eventually, it's got to hit.
Please, someone don't kick me out. Yeah, and she said, you're going to be important, but there's also another Song of Ice and Fire.
Boom.
I hope.
It'll get nice and lukewarm in the middle. So up north, we see a lot of Jon Snow and the North preparing for the White Walkers. He seems down to go to Targaryen Town.
He seems all right with it. I mean, he has to.
She's got dragon fire. That was a pretty bad impression.
What is that from?
I'm not sure. It's kind of like Shrek.
Oh, okay. Dragon glass, dragon fire. Yeah. That's what we really need. We need a donkey.
Yeah. The series needs a donkey. But then he was meeting some resistance within the Night's Watch, or are those just Northerners at this point?
I think there's just Northerners at this point.
We can't trust a Targaryen.
We can't trust. Yeah, everyone is kind of mistrusting Dany at this point, which you would think at this point, after a War of the Five Kings and Cersei murdering everyone in King's Landing, everyone would be kind of cool for someone to swoop
let's go
in on
back
a dragon.
to what worked, which was the Targaryens. Crazy as they may have been. They
300
kept things
years
together
of
for
doing
100
okay.
years. Yeah.
300 years of incest work for him. Just saying.
Yeah, we still don't get any meeting of Jon and Dany.
Not yet. Not yet. I mean, do you think that's going to happen this season?
Yeah, definitely.
It has to.
They're on the same continent. They're being drawn together.
Do you think Cersei's going to make it out of this season?
I do. We also saw a really brief snip of Cersei and Jaime making out, so that's still happening too.
Why does he not get angry at her? I don't understand their relationship at this point. I really don't. She's murdered so many people in King's Landing, done exactly what he killed Aerys II for, and he's cool now.
Yeah, Jaime's redemptive arc is getting shallower and shallower. It's just like a hop step to the side of not a genocidal maniac.
Exactly.
His priority number one is still sister banging.
I mean, obviously,
Number
as it
one.
should be.
Yeah.
And, hopefully we just don't come full circle and he's just going to start pushing kids out of windows again.
Just to feel alive. What else? Did I miss anything?
Those are the main ones. I think we had a quick glance at Viserion, the White Dragon. That's cool because it's been all Drogon all the time. So it's
There was
nice
a
to see the other
little
dragons.
Varys cameo, right? Who was he with?
There was a Varys cameo. I don't remember. Who did we see Varys with?
Varys.
Sorry, guys. We only just saw this like 10 minutes ago, and they played it super quick.
Yeah.
So the screen is blank, guys.
Yeah, that said,
Sorry.
yeah.
We see nothing. We're the opposite of the Hound right now. I'm looking into the fire, and I'm seeing absolutely nothing.
Oh, there they are. But
cool.
Another person missing from this. And
So
really
Varys,
there she is.
behind Melisandre.
Melisandre, so she really gets
Okay.
around this season.
So I feel this looks very similar to how she looked in the trailer. So maybe before they kind of just cut Conleth out of it before, but now we actually do see some Varys, and which is not surprising. What do you think his reaction to her is going to be?
Well, he's probably gonna get her onto Team Targaryen.
I think she's already there.
Yeah, that's fair. But I think he's gonna push her in the direction of Dany. You're looking for a Lord of Light. Do I have something for you?
Considering the fate of most of the people that Melisandre's been on the side of, I'm not sure I'd want her anywhere near Dany.
Yeah.
Just
And then
saying.
Varys is also by the sea, so the fan theory that Varys is a mermaid is confirmed.
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
That's what we're getting out of this.
Check that
Varys,
one off.
mermaid, done.
Yeah.
Totally.
And then I think the final thing I wanted to bring up that I thought was interesting is we see quite a bit of Littlefinger, and one shot is of him being choked out by somebody. It's very brief. I don't know if you can even.
I've tried going back many, many times. I can't even tell if it's a guy or girl. I'm not sure who's doing the choking.
Littlefinger, wily as he is, I don't like his odds in a fight.
No, not at all. He's
the second someone lays hands on him, it's over,
he's
right?
kind of the anti-Brienne.
Yeah.
I mean, his notion is to do all the machinations and everything behind the scenes, but when a real fight breaks out, he's like, I'm going to take my cat's paw dagger and be over here. Thank you. I'm done. No, thank you. It's interesting to see how much Sansa's going to let him get to her at all. Because at this point, like, what's he still going to do? She doesn't trust him. Jon doesn't trust him. What cards does he have still to play besides Sweet Robin being kind of wrapped around his finger? Yeah, exactly.
That's really it.
Yeah, and that's it. And then what? Hide? But that's not going to go along with his plan of sitting on the throne.
Yeah,
so,
but if his time is up this season, that's it could be the end. Could be the end of Littlefinger.
So you don't think he's going to sit the Iron Throne?
I want him to. I think that would be very appropriate for the franchise.
I want Brienne on the throne.
Littlefinger and Brienne, they put aside their differences. Oh my God. That would be interesting.
They'd make some really weird babies.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
So I guess that's it. Anything else?
Pretty much. No, that was the main thing that I got out of it that I was thrilled about was just seeing Melisandre with Dany. I'm very curious to know what Dany's going to make of Melisandre because I don't know if Dany has got time. She's like, I ain't got time for your prophecies, girl. Get out of here.
Yeah. So there you go, guys. Not a lot in the Game of Thrones Hall H panel, but a lot to pick over in the Game of Thrones next week or this season on video that they just released. So thanks for watching Screen Junkies News. We'll be back with more Comic-Con coverage soon.
This episode was presented by T-Mobile, America's best unlimited network.